are some negative traits of your future spouse? What are some negative traits of your future spouse that you may need to be aware of? Okay, so right off the jump, this person could be very cold, okay, cold acting. They could literally have a cold heart, okay? Yeah, they could be very cold in some way. This person also may have like a lack mindset, scarcity mindset, poverty type of mindset, okay? They could think small because they have this lack mindset, this poverty type of mindset, okay? They could always think they're not enough or that they don't have enough, okay? This is also given like in terms of who they are. Your future spouse may not feel like they're good enough at times. They're not gonna feel like they're good enough for you, or they just, and in general, they don't feel like they're good enough, so they could be a little insecure at times. Your future spouse could also be a little cold or a little rude, when their money isn't right, okay? That's also a trait of theirs. I'm not really sure exactly the word to call it, but when your future spouse doesn't feel like they're good enough, and this could be like in terms of their money, or if they are, if their stats are looking good, when they don't feel like their stats are looking good or their money looking good, they could have a habit of like being cold or distant or rude, because it's like when your future spouse doesn't feel like they're in a good situation, they will literally act on how they're feeling about their situation. I want to say is the negative trait. They will, like, if they're not feeling good enough, they will maybe make everybody else feel like they're not good enough, or they will be upset with everybody, start projecting onto other people, or get mad, or they'll pull away, they'll be distant. Just know when your future spouse feel like they don't have it all together, it's F everybody and everything, okay? This person could like have a habit though of leaving people out in the cold. I'm also getting like this, your future spouse is somebody who kind of like low-key wants to drag people along in their lack, okay? They want to kind of drag people along with them. Like, so if they're struggling, they're in lack, they want people to be struggling in lack with them. So that's the type of trait they have. If they're having problems, they want you to be dragging along in their problems. But it's like whatever your future spouse is going through, they like to drag people in it, okay? So they could be a part of them, or they can go through it with them, or, It's like if I'm down, you down too. We all gotta be down. Maybe your future spouse is also a little dependent on people, okay? Dependent on others with this Five of Pentacles here. They depend on others in some type of way. For money, even at times. This person is also very blunt, okay? Say whatever out their mouth. Maybe they say things that they shouldn't say, or that's inappropriate. Or this is just, they're very blunt, very sharp at the mouth, the tongue. Could even be sarcastic, okay? Yeah, they may be the type to kind of just say whatever out their mouth. This person also lacks boundaries themselves, okay? So since they lack boundaries, I'm getting like they also maybe overstep other people's boundaries because they lack their own boundaries. This is just, if you just about just somebody who doesn't have boundaries, they don't know boundaries, so they could also let people walk all over them at times, okay? Because they don't have any boundaries. They don't know when to tell somebody no, or not right now, not at this time. No, you can't. I'm not accepting this. I'm not accepting that. They'd rather, let people just walk all over them, okay? That's also a negative trait of theirs. Your future spouse could also be a lot of talk, but no action, okay, Capricorn? That's also kind of a negative trait. Like, they'll talk all day about what they will do, but they won't really do it, okay? This is like even in terms of like saying they're gonna do something, they'll say it, they'll talk their shit about it, but they're not really gonna put in any action behind it, or if they do, it may take a while. So they're just more so of a talker, maybe even somebody who can't keep promises at times, okay? This person could be power driven. They like to have power, okay? It's also a negative trait with future spouse. They could like do anything to have power. That's the part where it's like a negative, okay? Your future spouse could also have high expectations, but I'm getting like they could have high expectations for either everybody else and not themselves. And that's kind of what makes it negative. Or it's like they can have high expectations and you know, just really major high expectations for other people that, you know, is almost impossible for someone to meet. And it's also giving like your future spouse could be somebody who's never satisfied. Okay, they're never satisfied. It's never enough. Okay, your future spouse could also have poor communication. Okay, they don't really know how to communicate. They don't know how to really express themselves. Your future spouse could also be a little defensive. Okay, it's also a negative trait of theirs. They may get defensive over things, you know, they don't even need, you know, require someone to be getting defensive over, okay? And that could be part of their lack of mentality or them feeling like they're not good enough or something, okay? But it's like this person may not like to be questioned, or it's like if you say something, they always take it as if you're accusing them. So they're just defensive, okay? And it could be for no apparent reason. So that's also a negative trait of theirs. Yeah, having your future spouse never being satisfied. It's like the future spouse always got something to say. They're always going to have something to say. It's always going to be something where it's complaining or, you know, not being satisfied, because they're always, they can always be complaining, or simply because they're never satisfied, like, ever. Your future spouse could definitely have pride, okay? I'm also getting, like, they would go to extremes to prove a point even, okay? Is what I'm getting. They would literally go the extremes to prove a point. That's also a negative trait of future spouse. Like, they don't care if they have to be like down and out. Like, they don't care how bad it may have to be for them. They have to prove their point, okay? Something like that is how your future spouse is. Like, they don't care what comes with having to prove themselves. They just gonna prove themselves, no matter if it leaves them in some energy like this, okay? They don't care. They're gonna prove their point. They're gonna make a point out of whatever point they're trying to make, okay? Your future spouse may just be an attention seeker. They like to seek attention, okay? But it could be in the wrong ways, which is why it's a negative trait. This is a negative trait reading. So yeah, they could seek attention in the wrong ways, kind of always constantly seeking attention from people. Okay, and it's like it doesn't really matter who it is or what's going on. They just need the attention from whatever, okay? They need the attention from it. That's why they seek it, okay? Something like that. They seek attention. They could like attention, always need attention. Your future spouse could also not want to learn. They could not want to educate themselves much, okay? With that Five of Pentacles already letting me know that, like, this person is kind of okay with lack, okay? Because I said something about them not feeling good enough, and it's like if they don't feel good enough, it's like they don't care to do anything to try to feel good enough. Which just, they don't care to, like, learn or educate themselves on how to be better in some type of way. But it could be in general. They don't educate themselves. They don't maybe have any interest in learning more. And I'm getting more so like learning more so outside of what they know. So they have no interest in learning more outside of what they know. So your future spouse may definitely be a little stubborn. It's like they're always going to stick to what they know. So they may have trouble opening their horizons as well too. But it's like you may never see this person trying to educate themselves. They could, not enjoy it. Maybe they don't know how. Can't underestimate everybody. Maybe they just don't know how to really educate themselves. Learn something new, learn something different. But that is like a negative trait of theirs. Yeah, some about them don't like to go places or open their horizons, learn new cultures or learn new languages or For some, it's even going places. Your future spouse might like to just stay in one spot. Okay, with travel and the King of Swords, they could just want to stay in one area. Okay, it's something about them staying. Yeah, some of them staying wherever they're comfortable, whatever they're used to, and not opening their horizons and traveling the world or trying out new restaurants, new cultures, trying out things that, again, just trying out what's new to them. Okay, yeah, it's like your future spouse could not want to better themselves. Okay, so that will be like a negative trait about them. Or if they do, it takes them a while to realize. Maybe sometimes you got to take something for them to wake up and want to. Maybe it takes something for them to get like that, to get into that wanting to open up and learn. But yeah, this person could always like to party or have it up like every day is a birthday. Okay, sometimes life requires you to be on your shit and taking care of business and having to be serious and take care of your priorities. But it's like they could treat life as if every day is supposed to be an outside day, being outside, going outside activities. They could move like that, act like that, like every day is a damn birthday. But sometimes they could not know when to sit back and get serious and take care of priorities, take care of responsibilities. Your future spouse could also have a birthday coming up. Okay, yeah, I'm just getting like your future spouse could have high expectations that that they can't even meet. They have high expectations for other people that they can't even meet themselves. Okay, so they can have like a double standard. That's what it is, Capricorn. Your future spouse has like a double standard mindset. Okay, or they could act as if like it's okay for men to do certain things and not women, or vice versa. Take it out of resonance if you're a man or woman, but they could like have double standards. Okay, they one of those. Or they could think that men can do whatever they want, but when it comes to women, she has to have all these type of limitations, something like that. They can even be sexist, okay? And that's a reach, but that's for some. But more so, it's just they could have double standards, okay? But yeah, it's like your future always just wants to turn up, and they don't know when to get serious at times, okay? Yeah, they love to have fun. Again, with Endless here, they love to have fun. And they could really prioritize that over really taking care of responsibilities and things that they gotta do, okay? Like things in their day-to-day life even. It's just all about fun, okay? And being outside, yeah, like I said, outside. Pouring up, turning up, getting high up, okay? On the scene with a bunch of HOEs around them, they could live that life or come from that, and that's how they're kind of negative. I'm also getting your future spouse could be greedy, okay? With Endless here, they always wanting more. This is even in terms of like being satisfied. It's like I said, this person is never satisfied. They always want more, always need more. They're never satisfied. They're never grateful or thankful for what they do have, okay? That's also what I'm getting. Your future spouse is kind of never going to be grateful for what they have, never going to be satisfied. They're always going to be looking for more, even if this is like other people. Yeah, other people that could even like give them the attention they're looking for. It's like they don't care though. They're always just going to be looking for more. Okay. And then I'm also getting, with Endless, your future spouse lacks boundaries, and they lack respecting other people's boundaries, okay? They don't see no limitation here is what I'm getting with Endless. They don't have a limitation, okay? And that's kind of scary, right? It's like, damn, when do you put your foot down? They could be an overthinker, kind of always in their head, okay?
Making up scenarios that never even happened. And with endless, your future spouse could always be buying things, okay? They're like always buying stuff. Like it's never, like I said, it's never enough. They could have a lot of material gains, but they're going to be buying more. It's like they always want more, which is like in terms of them buying things, they could always be buying things, always spending money, okay? They could spend a lot of money often is another negative trait of theirs. And not that that's negative, but they may spend more than they save, or they may not know how to budget because they're always just spending money.
Your future spouse could say what's up a lot, okay? That's just for somebody. They could text that a lot.
And I'm also getting with endless here. Your future spouse could talk a lot, okay? Like they could talk like until the end of time, talk your head off, okay? Is another negative trait, but it's not so negative, but it can. We're gonna say that because it can be like maybe there's time where you don't feel like talking, or maybe they don't even let you talk at all. Get your 2 cents in, or maybe they would keep going on until they've said enough, and that's when it can turn you negative.
Yeah, really getting your future spouse could be small-minded at times, Cat. Some of you guys, your future spouse, I don't really see this being negative, but it could be depending on you, right? But it's like your future spouse could actually always want to travel, always want to be outside, okay? Always wanting to go places, but that's more so maybe negative for somebody who's an introvert, okay? But I'm getting like like I said with that, it was just given they more so just don't want to travel or open up their horizons in some type of way. That could just mean travel or open up their horizons in some type of way. Just go places or try new things, try different things. But for some, it's the opposite. This person is always kind of always out traveling on the road, gone, and you're not gonna really hear from them, see them, and that's kind of a negative trait. It could be due to work, but I'm just getting this person could just always like to be out, gone, traveling, going to a different city, state, even if it's the street over. This person just always traveling, always gone. I don't necessarily see that as a negative thing. Like I said, it depends on kind of how you are. But if it's kind of a situation where they always just want to be out and away from, home or whatever, away from whatever they have with you, then yeah, that would be negative. So I just still gonna mention it. But yeah, some here, they're gonna be gone all the time. They're always gone, or they're always out, always here and there, okay? Yeah, and with these people walking, they're definitely kind of, some of you guys, they're definitely just always out and about and gone. They could be a little superficial too, so that's also another trait I'm getting. Like if somebody could be resourceful, or somebody could be very smart or something, but if it don't really look good on the outside, they kind of like would dismiss you, okay? Like if you don't really look good appearance wise, or whatever they're seeing from you with their physical, with their eyes, whatever they see, in front of them, more so not really looking past the soul. They just kind of looking at on a superficial level. And I just getting like they could be a little superficial. Like if you don't kind of appear how they would want you to appear, they're either going to like have something to say, or they would turn you down. Yeah, that's also giving like turning. They walking towards her, but she kind of like hold up. So it's like they would turn people down if you're not like really meeting their physical aesthetic, okay? And that's whatever their aesthetic is, how they could want things to look. And that's what I'm getting. This person, your future spouse, could be more into image, or we're always worried about image and how things look, rather than looking past things that are like more important, like your soul, okay, personality, or what you have to offer on a level outside of the physical or the superficial part. This is even them just looking at if you have enough material gains, if you are, if you look rich or poor. Like it's kind of like they're either going to treat you how you look, okay, go off the surface, instead of again going deeper and figuring out more about the person, okay? It's just like if you don't meet their aesthetic or how they think you should look or act, they will try to like brush you off, or they will treat you differently or just treat you accordingly, right? Instead of just respecting you for how you show up, something like that. So they could just be superficial or be always worried about image or how things look, and they could also not really pay attention to the deeper aspects of people. They just look at what people have. Could even be opportunists, okay, Capricorn. Your future spouse could be a little opportunist in a way.
That's what I was more so getting at, like with the resources, like they could actually look at those things as like what they would go for. Like it's maybe not just physical, but if your physical is looking right, or you look like you got money, you look like you're resourceful, they could use you in some type of way, then they all for it, okay?
And they could keep a lot of women or men around them, and I'm just getting though it's because they like attention, okay? That's going to be a negative trait of theirs too. Like they may not be doing nothing. Clearly they're your future spouse, so they may not be doing their dirt or anything, but I just feel like it's possible because they're going to keep because they, for one, don't even have boundaries. So but they're attention seeker, and people who are attention seeker, they seek attention in whatever way they can, and it's obviously like a need for them, so they need the attention. It's just giving like this, your future spouse may keep a lot of suitors around them, even if again like they're not doing their dirt, they're around them in some type of way because they need constant attention, or they need constant validation even. And keeping these people around, they can get it from them. Maybe if they aren't getting it from you, or if something else isn't really holding their attention, they go looking for it elsewhere. But this could be anything, like maybe it's other things, but I just feel like they could keep people around where they're always kind of looking for other people, in a sense, to give them that attention and that validation they're looking for. And I'm also getting your future spouse could like to be validated, okay? They do look for outside external validation. That's also a negative trait because they should be getting that within, but it looks like they do need other people to kind of validate them, okay? They only feel better if someone is like giving them attention, or telling them they look good, or telling them they got a lot of money, or that they're the only one, and that nobody's better than them. Like they need that constant validation
Or reassurance, and it's just negative because it's constant. Like they constantly need that
validation with attention seeker here, so they can really just seek validation often, and they do it maybe in the wrong ways, okay? What is your future spouse's zodiac? What is your future spouse's zodiac? A Taurus, a Gemini. What is Capricorn's future spouse zodiac? What is Capricorn's future spouse's zodiac? Heavy on a Taurus or a Gemini, okay? Got that out here twice. An Aquarius, a Leo. They could have Leo, okay? Heavy on a Gemini, okay, and a Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, okay? They could also be born on the 6th or on the 8th, okay? They could also have these placements in their big 3. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for Capricorn. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading. It's a little bit about your future spouse and their negative traits that you may just have to deal with, okay? But with learning here, hopefully you will be able to, teach them how to navigate through these negative traits of theirs, or, maybe you're going to help them with these negative traits, and at least teach them how to use their negative traits for positive, something like that. But with learning here, maybe you're going to teach your future spouse, how to navigate these negative traits they have, okay? Or you're going to be telling their ass off often because of these damn negative traits. And that's going to be enough for them to change, okay? But that's what I'm getting for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you on the next one.